Since I make motherhood content, I feel obligated to talk about the whole Chapel Roan situation where she talked about how motherhood seemed like it wasn't fun and it wasn't rewarding and all of her friends seemed miserable. And I think that if we lean in as moms and if we really think about this, it makes sense that she thinks that, 100%. And I would not expect her to think anything different. But that doesn't mean that she's right. And this is what I mean. If we think about Chapel as a person, she's extraordinarily talented. She has mastered her craft, brought her craft to the public square, and was wildly accepted by the public. In doing so, it brought in an aspect of fame that she wasn't comfortable with right away. And I don't know what the update is, but it doesn't seem like she's comfortable with what fame has brought her fully, which means she is experiencing a negative attribute of something that she's worked diligently for. Her reward came with a downside, and that downside is really hindering her in a lot of ways in her life. Now overlay that onto how she's experiencing her friends who are going through motherhood. If she is overshadowed by how fame is really hindering what she can do in her career, then she's going to see her friends who are struggling with sleepless nights and who are taking care of, like we call ages 0 to 6 the acid trip years, because you're basically just taking care of a tiny drunk human who slowly sobers up over time. And eventually, and you take care of them the same way you would take care of a drunk college friend. You need to make sure they're fed, you need to make sure they're safe, you need to understand that they're gonna do things that are totally crazy and out of pocket. And at the same time, you totally love them. You want what's best for them. It's just that they don't want what's best for them yet. And that comes with time. Eventually they do. And so I think when we think about how difficult motherhood is, there are rewards in there. And there's great parts of it that we can really celebrate and we can love. Or we can focus on the really hard parts and be like, wait, there's no reward here. If Chapel's in a place where she's also focusing on that when it comes to how her experience with fame is, it makes sense that this was her conclusion. She's talking about something that's outside of her collective experience. And we can always lean in to somebody else's experience and go, that makes sense, and let me see how I can relate it to something that's happening in my life. Not always are we going to be able to get the full breadth and width of it, because we don't have that experience. It's not within our wheelhouse. And so I think in her perception, her statements were accurate, but it doesn't actually mean that all of her mom friends are miserable. It just means that she's not hearing the good. Think about when you leave a review for a restaurant. Are you more likely to leave a review when something negative happens, or are you more likely to leave a review when something positive happens? I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was at a Starbucks, the one that's closer to my house. Now, my favorite one in the entire country, and I travel for work, my favorite one is in Heathrow, Florida, on International Drive. Love it. Or International Parkway. It's the best Starbucks in the country, outside of the one that I would say is in National Harbor in Maryland. I love them there, but I've been going to one that's closer to my house. They don't even give me the sleeve for the outside of the cup. You have to ask for that. And I'm like, this is really weird. This is very strange. And I thought I should probably let the general manager know that that's a safety hazard. That's a weird thing, and that's not normal for any other Starbucks. But have I ever thought about leaving a great review for the most amazing Starbucks that I go to all the time? I really haven't. I really haven't. And so overlaying that onto the same situation, it's we want to bring alert to the things that are negative far more often than we want to bring alert to the things that are positive, just because of maybe our human nature, maybe because of what we see. And I think that is pertinent when we think about Chapel's comments. She's very valid in what she said. Motherhood is really, really hard, but she hasn't yet experienced, and maybe doesn't want to experience, the positive aspects of it. So she's only experiencing it through the lens of her friends, which seems really negative. But I look at her fame and I go, it must be amazing to open your mouth and be able to sing with the voice of an angel. I don't know how to sing. I'm a terrible singer, okay? The Lord did not bless me with the singy gene. It must be amazing to do that. But I can see, there's probably some negative aspects to fame, and I wouldn't want that. And it's got to be really hard to be on a stage every night, and that's just a really hard world. I don't think I would want that. And that's valid because it's outside of my collective experience. And so I think we can listen to what people say without taking it personally, just because it's her perception and it makes sense given what she's put in the public square. Anyway, I'm also in the middle of 75 hard, so that's why you're probably only going to see videos from me on some kind of exercise apparatus that I'm stuck on for 45 minutes for the next, I don't know, 50 something days.